Hi, my name is Beth, and I am the enrollment specialist here at Lewis Clark State College for International Programs. And we're talking about how to finish your LC State application. All right, let's get started. So when you go to our homepage, International Programs, you'll find an option for Ready to Apply, and you're going to click Apply. Most people will be starting as a first-year international applicant as long as your English scores are sufficiently high. All right, so most people will be starting with apply. Okay, if you know that your English scores are a little lower and don't meet the undergraduate requirements, you can apply as a bridge pathway applicant, which just means that you'll be taking an extra semester at the start during the summer, where you will be studying intensive English to prepare you and go straight into the undergraduate the next semester. Okay. So once you click apply, you'll see our checklist, which you can come back to at any time with all of the steps needed for your application. Your first is the Create Account International. Now, that will lead you to the page with all of the application options. But as an international student, you're going to be choosing the bottom one, which is Create Account International. Okay. Be careful not to click undergraduate. Okay. Because that is for people who are US residents, citizens. Okay. And the international account will have a $50 fee. Unfortunately, we cannot waive that. That is to help us process. Okay. So once you hit the apply button, it'll ask if you are studying with a student visa or if you will be. You're going to click on yes, because generally you will need a visa to study here. First and last names are required, as well as email address. It is good to have a phone number to contact you with just in case. And if you are residing outside of the US or Canada, please click that one. Okay. For your current mailing address, it's fairly straightforward. The big one that people have a little bit of trouble with on this page is the question, have you or will you receive a GED? That is not the same as high school. A GED is a general education degree, and that is a diploma that people who did not finish high school can get. Okay, so if you finished your high school, you do not check yes on that one. You will instead put down your high school, okay, and any college. And under enrollment information, the semester that you plan to attend, that's very important. If you are entering as a full undergraduate student, you will be choosing fall or spring. If you are coming in as a bridge student, you will select summer, okay? Because basically summer is our quiet time, which means that we cannot have enough credits available for full-time students to meet the requirements for undergraduate, but that leaves us with plenty of time for our intensive English program. Okay. And that is also important to note. It will ask you that you are not, if you are not a robot at the bottom. Once you finish there, that will create your account, and you will see that you do not have any current applications. You will click create a new application, and a lot of that information you just put in will populate. Okay, so you'll click that, and then you get several different categories of information to fill out. Only the ones with red stars are required. Okay, so again, double check on things like your name, alternate names that you might be having. Okay, your enrollment information, again, double check the enrollment term. Your location generally is going to be Lewiston. That's our main campus. We do have a Coeur d'Alene campus as well. And your intended major, okay, and enrollment status, usually new. Okay. Save it and continue. And just a little bit of demographic information. Did your family have higher education or not? And while emergency contact is not required, it's generally a good idea. Right? And once more, it's asking if you graduated or will graduate from high school, which one, and do you have higher education credit? Now, the residency section is to ask if you are a resident or living in Idaho and have established yourself here. Lots of people will not have this, okay? So you don't have to, if you are not a resident of Idaho, you do not have to put in information about that, okay? Now, be careful about the question, current county of residence. A lot of people mistakenly see country, but county is just a smaller district within Idaho itself, okay? So again, if you did not live here, you don't have to fill that out. And that will lead you down the page to a series of checkboxes. This is again about determining Idaho residency. And if you are not a resident, most of these will be left blank. Okay, so you only check those that apply to you. Things like, is your spouse an Idaho resident, for example? But the very last one, be careful on, it says, I am not a resident of Idaho for fee-paying purposes. So if you are not a resident, please check that one. Okay. And finally, you are going to have the writing and signature section. Tell us how you found us out. Why do you want to apply here? Okay. And then the certification, you are certifying or swearing that it is true. You understand that after you submit your application, you cannot change it. You swear that everything is your work and also honest and true, okay? And you swear that you understand admission is conditional pending the receipt of official documentation, right? So if you've submitted your unofficial transcripts, your admission will be conditional until we get the official ones, okay? So you're going to want to click yes on all of these and sign. Please don't forget the signature. Okay. That will lead you to all of our extra documentation we'd like you to provide. Okay. The first one is English proficiency. If you're in a country that is not an English-speaking country, you're going to be asked to submit things like IELTS, TOEIC, scores, or the Duolingo English test, right? Your scores have to be sufficiently high to be into our undergraduate programming. If you click language score, that's in blue, it should take you to a list of all of the different tests and what scores are required. Also, there is a list of countries where if you are from that country, you do not have to prove your English ability, okay? Please upload through the choose file option. And if not, you can always email that to us. Okay, then there are two I-20 requirements. I-20 is required for getting the visa. So the I-20 requirement, certificate of financial responsibility, right? So in this case, you're needing to certify that you have enough money to pay for either the semester or year, however long you're going to be here, right? And that if you do not have the full amount, but you have a sponsor, there's a place on that document to put the sponsored amount as well, right? So it doesn't have to be all from one source. Scholarships, sponsors, other sources of income, those all can be put there. You can grab that document in the blue online link, and again, upload it through here. To go along with that is the other I-20 requirement. The official bank statement must be on bank letterhead, okay? Either a bank statement or letter. And that shows that you have, again, enough money to attend, right? Please, once again, submit that. You can submit that through this portal, okay? Please also submit a copy of your passport, or you can also email that to us straight to the admissions@lcsc.edu link, okay? Either way. Finally is the $50 application fee. Now that link you will be paying online. The link takes you back to our main page rather than directly to the payment link. So just be aware there will be a link back on that page right under ready to apply. There will be a link that says fees. And that will take you to our checklist. And there will be 3 different ways to pay, which will be credit card or bank transfer. Okay. Very straightforward, but sometimes there's a lot of details. Please feel free to email us at international@lcsc.edu. If you have any questions, we are here to help at any time during business hours. And of course, at other times, we will make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and we look forward to meeting you. Have a great day.